Yesterday, this guy had savings. Today, he had debt. And the scary part? He thought he was making smart decisions. This didn't happen slowly. It didn't take years. It happened in a single night. But the truth is, this guy didn't go bankrupt overnight. He made a series of decisions that quietly pushed him there. And it all started when life felt stable. This guy had a decent income. Bills were paid, savings were growing gradually, and nothing extraordinary, but nothing stressful either. Life felt predictable, controlled, safe, and that's where most people lose. Because when things feel stable, people stop focusing on risk and start focusing on growth. One evening, this guy was casually scrolling his phone, just passing time. Then he came across something, an investment opportunity, high returns, fast growth. At first, he ignored it, and it looked unrealistic. But over the next few days, he kept seeing it again and again on social media, in discussions, in online groups. People were sharing profits, screenshots, charts, success stories. Gradually, what once looked suspicious started to feel normal. And when something feels normal, it starts to feel safe. This guy thought, if so many people are making money, why not me? That's when psychology took over. It wasn't logic anymore. It was emotion, fear of missing out. He began imagining what he could gain: extra income, faster savings, better lifestyle, financial progress. He pictured himself getting ahead. But he didn't picture losing. Because when people see others winning, they focus only on the upside and ignore the downside. He told himself he would be careful, just a small amount, just to test the waters. And so he invested. At first, nothing happened, no immediate results. Then the numbers started moving. Slowly at first, then faster. His investment began to grow. Every time he checked, the numbers were higher. It felt encouraging. It felt like progress. And without realizing it, his mindset began to shift. This guy started believing he understood the system. He thought he had made a smart move. He believed he had found something others hadn't fully recognized yet. That belief created confidence. And confidence led to more action. He added more money. Some of his savings started moving into the investment. The results continued to look positive. Everything appeared stable, even successful. And when things look stable, people stop questioning them. This guy stopped analyzing, stopped researching, stopped thinking about what could go wrong. Yeah, because nothing had gone wrong so far. And when nothing goes wrong, people assume nothing will. He looked at his remaining savings, money sitting idle. He started thinking, what if I move more? And he did. Now the profits were larger. The growth felt faster. With each increase, his confidence grew. He started feeling ahead of others, more informed, more in control. Then came a thought that changes everything. What if I invest everything? This thought didn't appear suddenly. It developed gradually with each success. Each gain made the idea feel safer. Each positive result reduced the perceived risk. At one point, he paused. He looked at his emergency fund. Money meant for unexpected situations. For a moment, he hesitated. He considered staying cautious, keeping something aside. But then he saw the numbers again. The growth, or the progress, the consistency. That hesitation didn't last long. He convinced himself this was an opportunity worth taking. So he moved his emergency fund as well. Now most of his financial resources were tied to a single investment, and everything still looked positive. The numbers continued rising. The experience felt rewarding. This is where things become deceptive, because right before collapse, everything often appears to be working perfectly. At this stage, greed begins to enter. But it doesn't feel like greed. It feels like opportunity. This guy wanted more, but he didn't have additional funds available, so he considered something he hadn't planned before: borrowing money. At first, it felt uncomfortable. Taking a loan for investment didn't seem right. But then he rationalized it, and he told himself the returns were higher than the interest. He believed it would be temporary. He believed he could repay it quickly. Once emotion finds justification, decisions begin to feel logical. So he took the loan. Now everything he had, savings, emergency fund, and borrowed money, was invested in one place. At that point, everything seemed aligned. The profits were increasing. The confidence was high. The system appeared to be working. Every notification reinforced his belief. Every gain validated his decision. He wasn't just investing anymore. He was watching what he believed was his future unfold. He started thinking ahead. If this continues, I could double my money. If I double my money, everything changes. It no longer felt like risk. It felt like a path forward. And when something feels like a guaranteed path, people stop questioning it. But quietly, things began to shift. The growth started slowing down. Not a loss, just slower movement. He noticed it, but ignored it. This is normal, he told himself. Then came a small decline. Still not significant, but noticeable. He felt a slight discomfort, but he pushed it away, because acknowledging risk would mean questioning his decisions. And that's something people tend to avoid. The decline continued gradually. Now he began checking more frequently. The confidence that once existed started turning into concern. He refreshed the app repeatedly, trying to regain the sense of control he once had. Then something else happened. Withdrawals began to delay. He attempted to withdraw a small amount. The request stayed pending. He waited, still pending. Now his focus shifted. He checked online discussions. Other users were reporting similar issues. Some were calm. Others were beginning to worry. Uncertainty started spreading. This guy felt it internally. The confidence was fading. Concern was growing. He tried to reassure himself by following the crowd. People were saying delays were normal, that things would recover. So he held on. Because that's what most people were doing. The next day, the value dropped further. Now stress replaced confidence. But belief in recovery still remained, because past patterns had always shown recovery. Until this time. They didn't. That night, the situation escalated. The platform slowed down. Pages took longer to load. Then errors started appearing. He refreshed again and again. The numbers loaded, but they were lower, much lower. As now a panic began to build. He attempted to withdraw everything. Error. He tried again. Another error. The system became unstable. Then suddenly, the app stopped responding. He reopened it. Nothing loaded, just a blank screen. At that moment, his heart started racing. He checked online discussions again. Chaos had begun. People reporting issues at scale. Withdrawals failing. Accounts inaccessible. Minutes turned into hours. The platform never recovered. That night, this guy couldn't sleep. He kept checking his phone, hoping things would return to normal, hoping it was temporary. But deep down, he already knew the outcome. Morning arrived. He checked again. No access, no website, no response. And slowly, reality became undeniable. The funds were gone. Not delayed, not restricted. Gone. Yesterday, he felt in control. Today, everything had changed. His savings were gone, and his emergency fund was gone, and the borrowed money remained as debt. That's when reality hit harder. Obligations still existed. Bills still needed to be paid. But the money was no longer there. He replayed every decision in his mind. Each step now seemed obvious in hindsight. Each choice now appeared risky. But at the time, everything felt justified. And that's the core of it. People don't recognize mistakes while making them. They recognize them after the outcome is clear. This guy realized something important. He didn't go bankrupt overnight. He went bankrupt the moment he stopped respecting risk, the moment he followed the crowd, the moment he believed in easy returns, the moment he concentrated everything in one place. The collapse happened in a single night, but the decisions were made over time. And that's what makes it dangerous, because those decisions never feel dangerous while they're happening. They feel logical. They feel rewarding. They feel like progress, until the outcome reveals the truth. And by then, it's already too late.